I wanted to say thank you to, I got so many messages when this story came out and I wanted to share it with y'all. And like I said on Twitter, it's just really great to wake up one morning and have 1,000 people send me the same story. And everybody knows where my heart lives. And it lifted my world. So this is from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, out of WGHP, the local station there. Did you know that Texas Pete hot sauce is made in North Carolina?
No.
Well, a Los Angeles man says he didn't, and now he has filed a class action lawsuit against Winston-Salem-based T.W. Garner Food Company for false advertising.
Oh, wow. Because he thought Pete on the bottle was a real guy, or what?
Yeah, he thought the inside container, like the hot sauce itself, was Pete.
Yeah. So now
So it's Texas Pete.
Yes.
This does feel like a patent troll sort of guy.
A little bit. It also feels like at any moment he, might sue the estate of C.S. Lewis because Narnia is not real.
Yeah. Wait, what? I'm sorry. Go back.
He's mad a fake guy is not really from Texas.
Oh, man. Who's going to rope my doggies now?
So Garner Foods acknowledged in the suit in a statement to Fox 8, quote, "We are well aware of the current lawsuit that has been filed against our company regarding the Texas Pete brand name. We are currently investigating these assertions with our legal counsel to find the clearest and most effective way to respond." So they're basically like,
we're investigating that we're not from Texas.
Right. Or they're investigating, can we give this man $1,000 and a pack of crackers to go away?
Please?
No, you cannot.
What would this take? According to the complaint, Philip White was at a Ralph's in Los Angeles when he bought a $3 bottle of Texas Pete back in the summer of 2021.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, there's a million Ralphs in LA, but I'm like, this could only be
The Rock and Roll Ralphs?
the Rock and Roll Ralphs. This is the only place where there's people crazy enough to be like, wait a minute, I got a lawsuit on my hands.
Yeah, he walked there from Guitar Center.
He did. Yeah, no shoes. Not because he doesn't own shoes, but because he's one of those, like, I like to feel the earth, man, and all the little shardies getting my toes. Quote, White relied upon the language and images displayed on the front label of the product, and at the time of the purchase understood the product to be a Texas product, the complaint said. The label includes the famed white Lone Star from the Texas flag, together with a lassoing cowboy images White's complaint says are distinctly Texan.
I mean, cowboys are from a lot of places.
And also, I mean...
Also, he's like a little yellow cartoon.
Right.
I don't think Texans need some guy from California telling them where they're from. Honestly.
Yeah. And also,
move to Austin, asshole.
Yeah. And also, it's like drinking Baja Blast and be like, wait, this wasn't made on that little peninsula what hangs off Mexico?
I'm sorry, Frank didn't make this Red Hot?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
There's no crystal in this bottle.
And what would the damages even be here?
Just probably like,
I'm a little confused.
Yeah, overall confusion.
So to his shock, he later discovered that Texas Pete is not actually a product of Texas, and quote, "There is surprisingly nothing Texan about them," the complaint said. From the ingredients to the style, he might have an argument. Texas Pete is what's considered a standard Louisiana hot sauce. Louisiana-style hot sauces are defined by their ingredients, namely vinegar, chilies, and salt, which pureed and fermented Tabasco, Frank's Red Hot are also Louisiana-style hot sauces. There's no such thing as a Texas-style hot sauce, the complaint says. And I'm
is there not? No,
it's
like
salsa.
Mexican.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be like Tex-Mex.
It's salsa.
Which is
it'd be salsa. Yes. What makes Texas hot sauce is ingredients from the Lone Star State with a uniquely Texan flavor profile. While the complaint doesn't outline what
would that profile be? Smoky?
What, a Texas profile?
Yeah, Texas flavor profile in a hot sauce.
Overly self-important.
I know. I knew this was setting up for a joke, but I was genuinely I am being very serious about this.
While the complaint doesn't outline where Texas Pete gets its ingredients, it says the ingredients do come from, quote, sources outside of Texas. It's an obvious question, and the brand even acknowledges that it may be confusing to some. The hot sauce brand's website highlights a December 5th, 2013 article from the Triad Business Journal, pulling out a sentence, quote, "With a name like Texas Pete, one would think the hot sauce is manufactured somewhere in the Lone Star State."
That is so silly.
Yeah.
I literally can't imagine what the damages would be. I feel like people are suing more than they used to.
Well,
Like
yeah.
we're back to like 90s levels of
yeah.
silly lawsuits.
That really opens up a lot of possibilities for me, though, in some ideas that I have. So I don't think that's a bad thing.
I also
And if
like
you do, I'll fucking sue you.
false advertising, quote unquote, is like
That's boomer shit.
right. Yeah, that's like when someone in the break room at work is like being like, they can't. That's illegal. They can't make you do this, and you're just like, what are we gonna do?
Do you mean a little redheaded girl ain't making my square hamburgers? Like, it's like
They can't make her work. She's 15. It's illegal.
yeah.
That
Get her
never
out of
happens.
here. Get her out of here. Get her out of the kitchen. She's not supposed to be back there. She doesn't have a work permit.
We went to the Tabasco Museum once. You know,
Hell yeah.
as everyone who lives here does eventually.
Yeah.
Avery Island.
It was basically a museum about barrels.
That's all it
Not
was.
much
it really
else.
was just that.
Every room you went in, they're like, here's some more of the barrels we use.
Because it's not like it's not like a huge active space. It's just one barrel to another. And
Yeah.
you're not allowed to be in those rooms.
Yeah, they won't let you in the room. It's just like a little cage, like an old-timey jail, and you like look through the window and go, yes, I see these barrels.
Pretty cool stuff, man. Lots of free samples though in the actual like gift shop though.
They also like spend the whole time in the like museum part where it's like, here's Mr. Avery's like, or McElhenney. McElhenney is the
McElhenney? Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, here's his shirts or whatever. But then they really do like build up this whole story where they're like, yeah, so after the Civil War, the slaves just like really liked him and gave him this recipe.
Oh,
and you're
I'm
like,
sure.
oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
true.
Yeah.
But they do also make a really big deal to say that Avery was his father-in-law, the guy who owned the island.
Yeah.
And he just thought he was a fucking idiot and wouldn't trust him with the family business, so he had to figure something else out.
It's also funny that
was
Avery
so funny.
Island is like almost just a moat.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a little ring of water that goes around it that you could, if you had a running start, jump over.
Yeah.
So it's like an island in name only.
Yeah. on dry summers, it is a peninsula.
Yeah. I guess it's a salt mine too, so whatever. You
Oh,
guys
hell
go
yeah.
on your own time.
Salt mine. That's where they bury.
Go and see the salt mine and learn about the barrels.
I was gonna say that's where
Yeah.
they bury the nuclear waste, empty salt mines.
Oh yeah.
It's great protection. The brand itself cites a legend. According to Texas Pete, Sam Garner and his sons, Thad, Ralph, and
Oh, man.
Harold,
I hate these guys already.
were trying to come up with a name
They
for their
seem chill.
They were trying to come up with a name for their hot sauce when they turned to their marketing advisor. The advisor recommended Mexican Joe to connote the the picante flavor.
Sorry, Jose.
Nope, Mexican Joe to connote the picante flavor reminiscent of the favorite food of our neighbors to the south. Nope, said the patriarch of the Garner family. It's got to be American. Sam
Yeah.
suggested they move across the border to Texas, which also had a reputation for spicy cuisine. He then glanced at his son Harold, whose nickname was Pete. Which you gotta love. You fucking should have named him Peter. You named him Harold, and you're like, no, that's a lame name, bro.
Yeah.
Your name sucks. It's like, you gave it to me, asshole.
Yeah, how do you get a nickname that is not related to your name?
It's just a
I mean,
different
That
name.
isn't like an endearing thing like Buddy or Chucky or some kind of thing.
Harry. His name's Harold. Why wouldn't you be Harry?
The real story was that this kid couldn't leave his little wiener alone. And that's how they got to that. That's what it was, I assure you.
So the Texas Pete Cowboy was born.
Yeah.
So that's where the name came from. It's like, not Mexico, god damn it.
What
Texas
state were they in?
Pete.
They're in North Carolina.
Cal-
Oh, they're
Kakalaki,
in
baby.
North Carolina,
Yeah.
and they've always been there. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
So,
Interesting that now there are no people I like in this story.
so the
yeah. There's there are no winners really, except for our taste buds.
this next sentence just fucking floored me when I read it. The complaint accuses Texas Pete of concocting a quote false marketing and labeling scheme specifically because it knows the state of Texas enjoys a certain mysticism and appeal in the consumer marketplace and is known for its cuisine.
Oh, who will think of the states?
They are not wrong.
The latter part part, they are indeed known for their cuisine. A certain mysticism is a fun way to put,
Texans are obsessed with themselves.
Yep.
and it's just dangerous seeming to most of the world.
I mean, I love Texas.
It's a great place, but I've never been more just on my heels anywhere. It's like, and I'm a fucking white guy, so
Yeah, it is fun when you go to a state as a white guy, and it's
even it fucks with you, and you're like,
Yeah.
these
are scary white people. These aren't like the Midwest types where like if you like insult them, they will cry.
Hey, I was doing
This man will shoot you.
I was doing stand up in a karaoke bar in Florida last night on a place that was a number after the words Bay Road. So I was there last night. That's the other place where you feel like that.
Yeah.
Bay Road number 12. And like, and there's nothing. There's just water around this.
Oh.
Just water, dark water.
Good. I'm going to leave kind
you
of
could
as
just
soon as I can.
You could just slip anything into that water. Just body anything. Okay. All right. Well, not doing all my hot political material out here. But White himself says that had he known Texas Pete wasn't made in Texas, he wouldn't have bought the sauce, and he would have at least paid less for it. Which is my favorite. Where it's like
He just wants a discount at the end of the day.
It's a $3 bottle, and also that's a lie, dude. Texas Pete is cheaper than that. It's a hair under $3.
Well, not at the rock and roll round.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're paying that Hollywood rent. I forgot.
Yeah.
Go to Burbank Walmart, motherfucker. It's like $1.60 for a gallon of that shit. That's why it's my favorite hot sauce. Quote, by representing that its Texas Pete brand hot sauce products are Texas products, when they are not, the company has cheated its way to a market-leading position in the $3 billion hot sauce industry at the expense of law-abiding competitors.
How much market share could Texas Pete possibly
lot.
have?
I think it is a
A
lot.
lot.
I think it's
Really?
Big time.
That's it's been my go-to since high school, and I know I'm not alone in that. And I think I probably said this. There's a certain quotient of people who, at least in my part of the world, Texas Pete was the cafeteria hot sauce in school.
That's interesting.
And
I guess hot
They see it on
sauce.
tables a lot.
Hot sauce is based on region.
It's regional, and where I grew up in Alabama, they literally had a cardboard box of the Texas Pete hot sauce packets,
Interesting.
and fucking kids are psychotic. We would just grab giant handfuls of that shit. So it's just when I think just baseline hot sauce flavor, it is Texas Pete for me.
That's funny. It's Tabasco to me. Not that I don't like appreciate Tabasco more than anything else, but that was in California. I think that's like the common one, and that's the one that's everywhere.
Like the biggest market share. I'm pretty sure Tabasco has the biggest market share.
Is that
yeah.
right? Yeah. And, well,
So I remember looking it up after we went because I was like, oh, how much could they possibly make here?
yeah.
There must be like auxiliary like
Well, there was when we were at the Tabasco factory like museum thing, there was like a big warehouse area.
Yeah.
There was like a really big busy area that we're just like blocked off from.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't. I gotta say, it wasn't until I got to California that I started really fucking with Cholula and Tapatio.
Yeah, Cholula and
so
Tapatio are the ones that I've always preferred. Tapatio is the one I think I've preferred the most.
Yeah, that's my because Texas Pete's not that widely available in California.
Yeah.
So you have to get it from a Ralph's. So you have to go to the actual grocery store or to Walmart. So I typically like if it's just one on the table, I'll go with the Tapatio. But
That is funny though. Texas flavors it's just Mexican. I mean, because in Texas, I'm trying to think of what I've seen. I feel like I've seen Tapatio and Cholula.
yeah,
I don't think of like Mexican. I don't think of hot sauces. I think of Louisiana hot sauce, right? Like
Yeah.
there's Crystal, Louisiana, and all those ones that are kind of like just in this chunk, and then
Everywhere you go in Texas makes fresh salsa.
exactly. And if you ever go to a Mexican restaurant, ask for hot sauce, they kind of just
They're like,
look
shut
at you,
up.
unless it's West Coast areas where you can get Valentina or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or if it's a non-Mexican family-owned place, then they'll have hot sauces expecting like whatever.
yeah. Ooh, man, and that's I will say when you go to like taco trucks, when you get they'll ask you want the green or the red.
Yeah.
Man, that can really vary wildly.
Yeah.
Wildly.
You gotta
just out of this world.
you gotta
different.
You gotta know.
You got to know what they do
What-
at that truck.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you assume the green is the milder, and sometimes
means
you are
go.
fucking wrong. Sometimes they nuke that green shit, and
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying it's not delicious. I'm saying you're like, ooh, and you dump it all over your taco, and you're like, fuck. Jesus.
Oh, I've made a weapon.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So anyway, shout out to the taco truck in front of the Ralph's in my neighborhood because their green sauce is actually tomatillo based and it is a little bit milder.
Yeah,
that's the way I hit. But I'll hit back and forth. I'll get one of each. You know.
Yeah.
If you get that red with the smoky chipotle, oh my god.
Or some of those greens that are like a little creamy, like maybe they have
I like that.
The avocado.
Yeah.
It's got the avocado.
like that a lot.
See, this is I woke up to this story. So many people were like, "This motherfucker loves hot sauce. He could talk about this."
Yeah.
Y'all know where our heart lives. White's complaint filed on behalf of all people of the United
Oh,
States.
boy.
Thank you, sir.
Who
I
have
salute you.
Who have purchased Texas Pete, asked the court to force Texas Pete to change its name and branding and to pay up.
North Carolina Pete.
T.W. Garner Foods has
North Carolina
Harold.
Harold.
T.W. Garner Foods has until November 10th to respond to the complaints. I'm sure they're shaking in their boots.
What happens if they don't respond?
I don't know.
Does it go to trial? I don't know how getting sued works.
Here's the thing: is that
Go to trial.
the only
That's
reason
criminal,
this has
right?
gone anywhere is because the
It's
lawyer
silly.
he has gone to has basically figured this is a slam dunk for me to make $1 million and this guy to get 20 grand.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that's immediately what this is.
Yeah,
Hey, they're gonna pay out.
In fairness, if a lawyer wants to make $1 million off of me and me give 20,000, sure, let's do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
If that's the deal that we're striking, I'll look ridiculous in a newspaper once and be made fun of by a comedian. It's fine.
They're gonna get this guy the help he needs either way. That's the thing. Either way, this man is
he's
gonna
got
get
a sovereign citizen.
Yeah, but he's a sovereign citizen, but only for like improperly labeled condiments.
Yeah,
not
for
that,
like annoying stuff.
Make sure when you go in there, make sure that they don't have Texas Pete because technically under Texas Pete law they cannot arrest you.
Yeah.
It is an infringement.
Yeah.
The 17th Amendment says
The 17th Amendment, Darnell versus Texas Pete, says that they are not allowed to call it that. It is Mexican Herald.
it is an act of war.